So in this class, we are going to go over your blockout and what you would have done better when making your blockout. So what questions do you have concerning the blockout?
Okay, so when you're making, I guess, a character that has ones that aren't really as, I don't know,
Realistic.
feel like comically, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best way to approach that?
Okay. So I would say the same thing that we did for the first one. So just gather a lot of references that look similar to it so that you know how they approach it. But for this character, I think it's still similar to what we did, but you won't exaggerate them as much as we did in the first one. So similar features.
Okay,
Okay, so should we do it together?
if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it together. Okay, let's go and actually find reference. So maybe just open up Pinterest right now, find a reference of something you like. I'm also going to do the same. Yeah, so we actually even picked up the same reference, one of the same one. This one.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, these are going to work. These ones look nice, especially this one. So let's use this one as a guiding reference. So this one.
Alright.
And yeah, let's work next. Okay, so let us get started. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the sculpting outfits. I'm going to change the focal length to 115, and then let's start from the neck. So the neck on this reference goes something like this, a bit narrow at the bottom, not too wide. So something like this, right? And let's work on the torso. We're just going to work on this downwards. So let's tie the hand. For now, we can go into objects mode and hide the hands, and we just focus on these ones. Each to hide, each for hide, yeah. And then let's select the torso, go into sport mode, and we're just going to adjust this. So we are going to make the shoulder straight. So I just bring this up with the grab brush, just like this. I think you did a good job with the torso. So we're just going to adjust it just a bit. So I'm going to make sure that these two flow nicely into each other. So I'll just bring this back. Make sure it flows nicely into each other. Okay. Something like this. Okay. That should be fine. That should be all for the upper torso. Now we can move to the lower torso. So for the lower torso, the same thing. I'm going to make sure these two flow nicely into each other. I'm just going to adjust this with the grab brush. And then let's make the back look nicer a bit. So I'm just going to use a grab brush. Then I'm going to pull it out to cover the back of the legs. Just indicate the back of the character. Then yeah, use the grab brush and clean this up. Yeah, just like that. Then also from the side, we can make it rounded just a bit. So to just bring this out just a bit. Okay. And then something I noticed on this character is that if you take a look from the side view, I don't know if you notice what I'm noticing. If you just take a look at it from the side. Yes.
It's like history.
Yeah. So she looks like she's going to fall over anytime soon. It's here. So let's go into edit mode. Just select all the leg objects and then go into edit mode. And okay, something else that I'm noticing is that we are facing. Okay, let's just go back into object mode for a bit. Go back into object mode.
That make it face the wrong way.
Yes. So if I press 1 on the keyboard, it goes to the back. So the way, let's just unhide everything. Then we're going to select everything. Alt H to unhide. Right. So select everything with A. And then to rotate it, R to for rotation. Then we rotate it on the Z axis by 180 degrees. Okay. And then let's apply all transforms. Select everything. A. Select everything. Control A. And then apply all transform. So what's apply all transform does for us is, if we take a look at here, the rotation says 0, 0, then Z is 180. Everything should be 0. Everything should be 0. And then on the scale, everything should be the one. So if we apply the all transforms, so that goes back to normal, and that's how we want it to be. Okay. So now let's go back to everywhere. Select the legs, go into edit mode, and we're just going to rotate this just a little bit. Something like this. And then I'm just going to select the upper leg. Maybe I'll rotate it a bit. Then I'll select the lower legs and feet and rotate it this way. Just to have a bit of bend to it. I can do like this. Then I'm also going to select the feet. Then I'm going to rotate it down. Make sure it's just flat. I'm going to hide the hands again, just so that I can see this. So it's looking good. I think the back is coming out a bit too much. And also the head is rotated. So I'm just going to go into edit mode. And I'm going to rotate it this way, just to face up. And then let's go back into sculpt mode on the lower torso. And we'll just bring this forward a bit. Let's go back into edit mode and move the feet, the legs forward a bit. So something like that. That should look good. And now let's work on the feet, on the legs. We start from the upper leg. I'm going to select the upper leg, go into sculpt mode. And at this point, I'll make sure to take a look at the reference. Okay. What I'm going to do here, we're just going to pull this up a bit. I think we want the upper legs to be shorter just a bit, and then I'll make it narrow towards the knee. Something like that. From the side view, I'm going to make here bulge just a little bit. So just make it curved just a bit. For this character, it shouldn't be too exaggerated. Yeah, this should be good for the upper leg. I'm going to switch to the lower leg. And then I'll bring this up to meet the upper leg. Okay. And take a look at the shapes on the reference. So this side come down like this, while this side is straight. So I'll just do the exact same thing. I'll pull this out. And I'm just going to make it set. So I'm just taking a look at the reference. And I'm copying what I see there. And then we can also adjust from the side view. So this part is going to come out just a bit. And this side will be straight. Something like this. Yeah, I think that's starting to look good. Like that is. And now let's work on the feet. So our concepts says that the feet is pointed. Well, let's go otherwise. It's actually the shoes that are pointed. So we actually make the feet like normal feet, yeah. And so let's block out the feet. Let's go from the bottom view. So we can just press this Z axis here, the minus Z axis, and then you can use the grab brush and just shift this into place. So just a rectangle like this, a rectangle that tapers outward this way. Think I like the way that looks. Let's go to the from the side view, and we are going to make this look nicer. Now just smooth this out. Just let it go gently towards the toes. Yeah, that's true. What happened to the tools from our last class?
Sorry?
Yeah, I said what happened to the tools from our last class?
Uh, they did not go.
Okay, so we will try again this week after this. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's just keep adjusting this from every view until it looks nice. Okay. So what you want to do for the feet? Okay. So yeah, I even forgot about this part. So let's just use the grab brush and make the back of the feet wide. We are going to make it wider than the width of the leg coming into it. just make it wide like this. From the side, we want to make it rounded, so rounded like this. Okay, and then on the lower leg, switch to the lower leg. Okay, so I want you to just smooth out the transitions, like, yeah, right there. That should be fine. And then we can also, from the reference here, we can also exaggerate this side of the leg. You just bulge it out just a bit, bring it out just a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, it look good to me. What do you think?
I, I think it should be good.
Yeah. All right. I'd like to polish it up at your own time. Let's just go ahead and work on the hands. So we can, okay, before we actually work on the hands, let's work a bit on the head blockout. So let's switch to that one. And for the head blockouts, things you want to keep in mind, you want to make sure that the back of the head is flat this way. Then it does something like this. It goes back into the, yeah, just like this, something like this. So let's do that. Okay, and smooth out the back of the head to make it flat. And then I'll use the wrap brush to change the way the size of the head looks. And then we can use the crease polish brush and mark out the separation between the jaw and the cranium. And then from the three-quarter view, we want to make sure the head is also still flat this way. So just hold down shift on that side, yeah, and smooth it out. And let's take a look at the front view. So I'm going to take a look at the reference also. Okay, so for the reference, she has a bit of a chin, and then it goes up a little bit. So I'm going to bring this down. Then I'll take the sides, something like this. Then the front of the head is usually not this round. So we are going to fix that just by taking this up, something like this. A little bit more squarish rather than round. So something like this. Then let's just go around and work on the way the shapes look from all angles. Yeah, the body is good to go. Okay. And what next? Let's work on the arms. So just Alt H to unhide everything in object mode here. And then I'm just going to take a look at which of this. Let me take a look at this reference right here. And yeah, we'll just model the arms something after this. So let's work on the upper arm. We're going to edit mode. And I'll bring these arms up just a little bit like this. And then we can model in, just indicate the muscle just a bit. And now let's switch the lower arm. And then we're just going to start indicating some of this. I'll bring this up, bring this down, something like this, and I'll just pull this into the upper arm. Okay, let me take a look at it from this angle here. Okay, so just adjust it like this, bring this side out just a little bit from here out. Then make sure this side transitions nicely into the upper arm. And now something you can do, you can just use the line project brush for this brush right here. And then you can just slice, just deeper this just a little bit to make way for where the palm is going to be. Let's switch to the shoulders. This one is actually simple to do. Just adjust it to flow nicely into the arm and into the torso. Can also adjust the torso if needed. So I think you might need to adjust the torso just a bit. So switch to the torso and then just bring this side inside a bit. Move the shoulders into, we can move the shoulders into the neck, something like this. Just make sure it's straight. Yeah, what do you think?
It looks, oh, I need it. Okay, there we are. I was going to say it looks a lot better than I started off with.
All right, so just keep on adjusting this, and then You still remember how to sculpt the face, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I do have one question on it before I go ahead and do that, though.
Okay, well,
When you have expressions and stuff when sculpting characters, would you just go ahead and make the eye shape something similar to that, or would you start off with something different?
So we want to keep these characters in what we call a neutral pose. So that's no expressions. So like this, the way the eyes are, flat at the top, we just want to make it just put in a neutral pose. Everything should be neutral at the stage. And then when we get to the rigging stage, that's where stock is going to start adding expressions. Okay.
All right.
All right. So let's just from here work on the hands. So today we are meant to sculpt the hands and the hair. Okay, so let's start with the hands. If you want to see how I sculpt hands, check out this video and I'll catch you guys in the next one.